Okay, hello everyone. So in this video, in this chapter, we're going to just do a very high overview about what action items are and basically what you can do with them and who we are and why we made them there, I suppose. So the whole idea behind ClaimWizard and action items is to be proactive, right? So a lot of times what you do in your business is you're recording things that happened, right? Diary entries. Well, that doesn't necessarily, and you need those, but that doesn't necessarily help you or your team look forward about what do I need to do in the future and what may I need to do, and maybe I don't need to do something. So there's no sense of planning for everything all the time on every claim because it may or may not happen. So we have a concept called action items, workflows. So they are sets of action items that allow you to dictate in advance how you want your claim to be run. So in a typical claim, it's kind of the same amount of work or same type of work up until you possibly get to a decision made by a carrier. In the beginning, you're processing paperwork, you're running estimates, you're doing scopes, you're taking pictures, you're collecting all sorts of things, making a demand letter, a proof of loss, something like that, giving it to the carrier, and then they make a decision. And at the decision point, it could scatter a bunch of different ways. So we do know the typical ways that a claim could go. So you do plan for those, but you don't have to execute every single opportunity every single time. Like maybe a claim is not going to go to litigation every single time. Maybe a claim is not going to go to appraisal every single time. But you still have to build these factors in. So that's what ClaimWizard does. It helps you on every single claim determine what task needs to be done, when it needs to be done, like what the prerequisites are, that sort of thing. Who needs to take care of this task? So is it the adjuster? Is it an estimator? Is it an office staff? Is it the mortgage processor? Who needs to do this? Next, it's how long does that person have to do this task? Do they have a day? Do they have 3 weeks? What's going on? And then the next two are what happens when this task is completed. So what goes next? So, I always say I'm a big fan of doing the work, clicking the button and going on, not doing the work, calling someone in the office, they're not there. So you leave them a voicemail and then you follow up with an email and saying, hey, I did this. And you have to wait till they come in on Monday to find it. Like that's a lot of wasted communication. So what's next is also, what comes after that task is done is also automatically generated. And then very important on some tasks is what happens if this task is not done on time? How do we escalate this? So every single decision that you make on a claim should be templated out. You should have a business process behind it. So that's what we're going to work through here. But that is the idea of being proactive on a claim, is always knowing what is coming next and having it automatically fed to you rather than going through a pile of papers or a bunch of emails or a bunch of Excel spreadsheets or tabs figuring out what did I do, what's late, what do I need to do next, did so-and-so realize I was done with the report. All of that goes away with ClaimWizard. You set this system up once. And then we go through and do it that way. So those are action-oriented tasks. Each task isn't there as a reminder. It's there because you have to do something and produce a result at the end of that task. So that's why we call them action-oriented tasks. Now, why is this important to your business? First of all, if you have a documented, repeatable, automated system in place, your staff can operate without you. You put your personal secret sauce into what this is, and they won't miss a deadline. They won't say they forgot something. It is all literally put in front of them with check boxes and deadlines next to it. Anybody can follow that. That's why it's important for your business. We also find that it's important to stay compliant, to make sure that you're hitting your own deadlines, automatically documenting the things that you're supposed to be documenting as a public adjuster, as a holder of that license and that bond. So we think it will also make you more efficient. When it comes down to it, a lot of people in the beginning are like, this is so much work, I don't want to do this. But once it's set up, it runs itself. I've also had people retire or sell businesses or merge, And a big factor of the value of their business is not their open book of business, of their open claims, of their future accounts receivable. It is the process and the efficiency that has been put in place by their team that they can follow. And efficiency equals profitability. Time is money. Efficiency is money. That all comes down to what this is. Click a button, get everything out of your system all at once to show your work to attorneys, to judges, to carriers, to clients. This matters. And I'm so glad that you're along for the ride for this, because we're going to have a good time building out your action item process.